My mom's name was Ann Thomas. She was absolutely the best mother that one could imagine.
One thing I know about my mom, that she always showed up for me. In all the difficulties I had in my life, she always showed up for me, over and over and over again.
My mother had been sick for a very long time. For 20 years, she had been deteriorating with a bone disease.
She would walk 2.5, 3 miles a day before the COPD, and she was bound and determined to never die.
Because it had gone so slowly all the years before, it was a bit of a shock when we finally realized that she wouldn't be able to get out of bed again.
And we went there on a Sunday, and she noticed some chest pain. They came back with the x-ray, then the subsequent CAT scan that showed the tumor on her lungs. And then that was 10 days before she died.
With myself, I work a full-time plus job and have, 3 children, and my brother had been giving really years of his life. We couldn't do it anymore. My mother had expended all of her savings. We didn't know what we were going to do.
I picked up the phone, it was Hope, and Hope said, "Oh, hi. And we have a place for your mom," and it was the Hildegard House. And so I knew my prayer was answered just by Hope calling.
My mother never really wanted to go to a home, or she wanted to be in her own house. But when we came to Hildegard House, the first thing that I noticed was all of the light and all of the beautiful art that was all over the walls, and all of the flowers, the beautiful gardens that surrounded the home, and all of the smiles of the volunteers and the people that were there.
And do you remember what she asked?
No.
How long can I stay here?
How long can I stay here?
And my answer was, as long as you want.
Yeah.
It was like we walked in and said, "Where has this been?"
Oh my God. Oh my God, we found a home.
This is like taking her from from her home into a home.
I knew she was surrounded by angels. And that was every volunteer here were just angels of light and love for her, and hope and care for us.
Once she got involved with Hildegard House, a miracle happened. And she became alert and oriented. She perked up, she would converse, her memory was back, and we got to spend an extra at least month and a half with Mom here at Hildegard House. It was some of the happiest times of her last part of her life.
The prevailing feeling here is love, love, and love. Dignity, hope, grace. Yeah, it's sad, death is sad. It's a loss. But those other feelings, they pour out of the walls and they embrace you. So if they embraced me, I knew walking away, my mom was being held in just a wonderful womb of that. It's a great place to birth yourself to the next place from.
I just think, that in the last, hours, days, weeks of our life, people can be forgotten. And really that's the time people should be celebrated. I don't know of any other nonprofit that does that kind of work.
So I know that every resident who doesn't have family, to the extent my mom had, I know they feel that radiance of the sunlight of spirit and grace through every volunteer person here.
Well, the best thing about the Hildegard House, honestly, is that it's a reflection of our community.
We come from all parts of the city.
Can you believe we get to do this for free?
The beauty, the amazing residents.
Lots of interesting stories.
And every patient we work with, we learn something new.
Holding their hand, letting them know they're not going to be alone.
Being able to care for people who may not have anybody else.
Homeless and just those that have been so alone for so much of their lives.
It's
every bit as important as a person's birth, if not more so.
And it is a gift to have that calling.
One person at a time, you can touch someone.
Compassion that you get back from them.
They change your life.
And the best care that anyone could ever expect to have.
A place where dignity lives.
I have a feeling that if this could emanate throughout the entire society, I think we'd be a much better world.
And I'm so proud to be part of this.
There should be a Hildegard House on every dang street corner, in every dang city, and every dang country all across this globe.
She died at Hildegard House, where she mattered. And so I believe that people who don't have anybody like Mom did, when they come to Hildegard House, they know they matter. And to me, that's the best gift we can give anybody who's lived a life.
Hildegard House is a place of blessings and miracles. One of the most miraculous things that we are able to serve our residents without charging them a fee. Did you realize that if you don't have a home, it's difficult to access hospice? Did you realize if you can't afford 24/7 caregivers or don't have a family, it's also difficult to access hospice care? Who would give you your medication? Who would provide meals for you? Who would help you to the bathroom? We are so blessed at Hildegard House to have this amazing group of volunteers called Compassionate Companions that provide this service for our residents. And the community has been so wonderful for all their financial support. Will you join us to help us continue this blessing for our community, this miracle called Hildegard House? Thank you.